This is your daily market recap for Monday, August 7th, 2023. Let's go. Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well. This is Dan Max at XP Realty, aka the Trading Agent, and your daily market review for Monday, August 7th, 2023. Hopefully you're having a great day, great weekend. Are you surprised by the market bouncing? I'm not. As we've talked about, Monday and Fridays, usually kind of interesting days in the market, Tuesday through Thursday, where they matter. But as we've talked about on the weekend review and just in general, the big data is later in the week, so do not be surprised if the market backfills a little bit. Talked about retesting 20 days. We talked about choppiness due to summer conditions. Just pretty natural that the market is a little sloppy and choppy. So if you got any questions, please reach out. Let's look into the data because, again, I think a lot of people really, again, define your risk. They think it's time to still buy stocks and hold on and just let it ride. If you have long stocks, I'd be taking profit, hedging, doing whatever you need. If you're new to the channel, you want to join the Discord room, a link is in the description below. Follow us on social media, all Twitter. I guess it's letter X now. I'm not going to call it X, but like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Twitter, YouTube, same thing. Tons of educational training videos, tons of insights, and it's all also on my website, thetradingagent.com. Keep in mind the more beginner videos at the top, advanced videos as you scroll through it. And if you are looking for somewhere to store your money and hide out, 5.3% with Marcus isn't too bad. Every time you refer out somebody in to Marcus, you get another 3 months, and then it goes back to 4.3, but been pretty easy to convince others. Again, get under the 250,000, 500,000 combined FDIC insurance, please. All right, Fed Fund futures for September meeting. Pause. That's expected. Bitcoin. Talked about it. Chopping. Looks like a him and hers top. Just, it's got to hold trend, got to hold this level. I mean, this could play out for a couple days, just going nowhere. I mean, it is what it is. Oil hitting our next upside target. After that, obviously, would be somewhere up in the 90s. I am going to say it now. At some point, you're going to get a pullback here. Just how deep, and then is it the top? Again, I think oil is going to struggle just in general because of why. Fed fund futures, interest rates, debt, everything. It's just, again, economy is slowing, and that's the hardest part here to assume is that demand destruction will not take effect at some point. Again, I'm not expecting oil to absolutely get crushed like it had in COVID times, but I think there's going to be some pretty deep pullbacks at some point because that's, again, just like throwing the baby out with the bathwater. We talk about it. The dollar make you holla. Hit our trend line, backing off, holding this 50-200 day. Keep an eye on it because, again, I think near-term dollar could be just chopping around. I mean, again, watch for volatility. That's what we said. Watch for the vol. TLT, again, we like bonds down here, filling the gap, define your risk. Love it in the mid 90s. All right, inside day today, lighter volume, not surprised. Again, could we retest, make higher lows? That's what we talk about. Bottoms just aren't V's, y'all. Keep an eye on it. The VIX, not surprised, little VIX crush on a Monday. Inside day, chopping, just keep an eye on it. VIVIX, little inside crusher, crush. We'll see. I mean, again, this is the thing about the markets. I get so many people hit me up and go, see, the bull market's back on. Is it? Have you ever traded on the 10-minute chart and had an indecisive day or a candle that was inside the previous 10-minute candle? Did you just freak out and go, oh, trend's over? No. All right, 20 day on the SPY, talked about it. I mean, you maybe even test Friday's range highs. I mean, there's very clearly... you can see here, 452 is major resistance. QQQ, little rally, obviously. Again, 20-day, maybe it gets up into the 378. It just is what it is. IWM lagging again, starting to drop, making lower lows. We'll see. 20-day, nice close. Try to come back at the close, stay in the 194s. We'll keep an eye on it. DIA was on a little bit of a kicker today. Hot, some of the names in the Dow. Coming up against the major reference up here. Keep that in mind. We're in this zone. Filled the gap here, potentially. Always possible. You see that little gapper tandy. It kind of filled it, but 357. Keep an eye on it. Gold. Oh, man, every day. So many people ask me a question. I'm like, just leave it alone. If you short it, cool. Gold will get slaughtered when the markets get slaughtered. Now, again, some things will hold up better. Like gold, maybe less than silver. But, again, I like the idea that things are going lower. Silver... I mean, 200-day, if it breaks the 200-day, game over. I mean, miners, we've talked about leading down, but they look like crap. Gold's up here, silver's up here, miners are down here, about to break the lows. Again, miners get crushed when the markets get smoked. Then you buy them. GDXJ holding on for dear life on the trend line. Keep it simple. Stupid. AG, we talked about this little rally up to this like 6-7 range. Man, I don't know how you want to draw it at this point. It's toast. Could it rally? All these names have the potential to chop around. That's the biggest question you have to ask yourself. AEM broke the trend line. Chopping around. I mean, that doesn't really look that strong, y'all. We'll see what happens here. We talked about Newmont just being complete trash for a long time. Look at this. I mean, this thing has no gusto. Now it can't really. I mean, this thing should be up in the, like, I don't know, mid upper 40s. Pass. Another one just getting blasted. But again, just let these things come in, y'all. Let them come in. Taiwan semi. A lot of nothing. A lot of nada mucho. Not a mucho. So, oh God, here come the trolls on Twitter. Austin, if you're listening, dude, again, I wish you could understand. Like, it's almost like, again, people, it's like looking at gold and the miners, and it's like, oh, because we're up a day, it's time to go. Okay. I mean, we've talked about it. You got to expect the first dips get bought, man. The first dips get bought, right? Does this make sense? Why? Because it's a trend. It's the same thing on a bottom, right? The first pop gets sold, right? Right? It's just too bad. It's just too bad people don't study it. It's like, you know, here you go. For drop, there's a rally back, right? Drop, rally, drop, rally. Now, like, look at bigger tops. So you see it all the time. Rally back, right? Rally back to the 20-day, right? Drops. Then there's some rally. I mean, it's one of those things where I just don't think people like logically step out beyond the reality of the market. And this is just Taiwan semi, for example, right? You drop a couple days and you pop. Drop a couple days. I mean, again, depending on what the market does, the pops can be bigger. Taiwan semi, again, watch this like mid 90s. Micron, nice trade if you shorted the gap fill. Then another gap fill. I mean, this thing looks like it's poised to just slowly take the poop. Dumper. AMD, we talked about it, chopping around. I mean, it's game over once it breaks 105, 107. So, I mean, if you're surprised it doesn't, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Adobe, 20-day, I mean, it's novice gap trap. I'm surprised it got over it on light volume, but sometimes that's what happens. Apple, people are saying it's the most oversold it's been in years. And it's like, what? I mean, technically, I guess, because it's been straight line, but all right, will there be a bounce at some point? Probably. But if there's not, that just tells you a lot. Again, oversold is relative, because I don't give a crap what you said. Oversold, when you go from 124 up to basically 200, dropping down 20 points, I mean, define oversold. What if, I mean, how many times have you seen a stock get absolutely smashed? Define oversold. Like, again, overbought, oversold, it's all relative. Amazon, we like it up here, shorting here, up in this mid, low 140s. Love it. CRM, right? Breaking the 20-day, breaking the 50-day. Again, could these bounce? That's the question. If the market holds up and there's a little chop, they can bounce. I mean, same thing with GOOG here. As you know, I'd love to see it smash. Obviously, you got a short on it, but today's action, I mean, how many times have you seen a top in this thing be sloppy and choppy? Right? I mean, it's just the nature of the beast. Like, everyone wants this, but the reality is you get more of this. You get more of that, you know? And it's just, I don't know what to tell folks other than study the damn past. But if you act like you don't know what the hell's going on, I don't know what to tell you. Meta, same thing. If you short it up in the 320s, I mean, watch the 20-day. If it breaks, it breaks. Microsoft, breaking 20-day, breaking the 50-day. All right, chopping a few days. I mean, these things look all very weak, but I'm just amazed that if it's not slaughter every day and the VIX isn't in the 30s or 40s, you get the same folks going, look, it's not crashing yet. And it's like, okay, well, remember, the straight line move usually happens closer to the end of the move. We're just building a base to suck in buyers and trap them. Does that make sense? Same thing at the lows. You build the base to suck in sellers, and then you rip higher. NDAQ, we've talked about this, the NASDAQ in general as a index. Sorry, not the index, as an exchange. Ain't nobody can be buying tech stocks in the future. Oh, what are you talking about, Dan? Okay, study the past. NDAQ, MicroStrategy. Now you hit the backside of a trend line in the 50-day. If you were watching this, don't be surprised if there's a bounce or a couple days of just chop. That's part of the market. Here you go. Love to see a Netflix bounce before shorting it. I mean, all these names. Like, again, let them come to you. Do not chase. And if they dump, great. If they don't, just don't be surprised by it. Roblox talked about this dumping. Could it have a couple inside days? Tesla's CFO's leaving. I mean, below the 50-day now. I mean, you might say it's a doji. Just keep this in mind. It could chop around. I mean, nothing wrong with it if it chops around. I mean, it's just everyone wants the dumper. I get it. Are we there? Are we going to have it? I don't know. Letter X, right? Chopping. I mean, a lot of these names, it just look like they're global. I mean, they all rallied on the China stimulus. We talked about the 3 China stimuluses. Now you're back up at the highs. Watch the 28 for Nucor. Caterpillar, are you surprised? Again, first drop gets a bounce at some point. You just don't know if it's from lower prices. Okay, well, I mean, where to next? Draw out your levels. I mean, you could say 285. Maybe it's this day. I mean, I would be remiss to say if it's somewhere in the upper 280s, but shorting strength is the place to do it, not when it's falling. I just try to warn people, don't chase. It's like chasing the buys. VALE stuck at the trend line lows. We'll see another global growth name that could implode. Arrow Copper has been doing really well. Now the miners are not doing well. Exactly 5-6 days straight down. We'll see if they're due for an oversold bounce. Uranium, man, it fills the gap. That's not good. This candle's not good. You better pray for some more reloading before it goes. We'll see. CF, again, a lot of these names hit their targeted upsides. Now it's time for them to probably just bend over, roll over, whatever you want to call it. Mosaic, chop, 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 chop. Hits the range, hits the spots that we're expecting. NTR, same thing, hits some spots, backing off. Now, again, we like ag names, but wait for weakness. Wait for the weakness. Another global growth name, aluminum, AAPL, going nowhere. Financials held up pretty well today. Got to give them credit. Morgan Stanley obviously is a piece of junk. But XLF holding the 20-day. I mean, just this is what's so hard. You want to see blow-offs, but look at this top. Look how sloppy and choppy it is. Again, if you are a troll and you're talking and you're watching, you're like, oh, everything has to dump at once, and at the lows you're going to be like, oh, I can't buy. It's like, where are you at? Have you studied? This is the past. Have you studied the past? Carry, 49s. We'll keep an eye on it, right? Keep an eye on it. See if it can break over it. JP Morgan, chop, 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 chop. Chop, chop, chop. Another wick. Somebody looks like they're distributing it at the end of the day. You see the 10-minute? Look at this. And again, I'm not trying to say go out and short it right at these prices, but this is ugly close. Another ugly close, folks. Ugly. Ugly, ugly. Somebody's distributing. Morgan Stanley, again, nothing all day. Last 10 minutes, sold hard. I mean, base here. Basing's fine. I don't care if it took 2 weeks and it goes nowhere. But if it market dumps, it's probably going to go. Goldman, chop, chop, chop. I mean, I don't know how to explain it. Chop, chop. XBI, look at this thing. Breaking. Break down. Go ahead. Give it to me. Now, this is with, again, things that aren't bullish. This should not be getting smoked. Keep an eye on it. Tan, solar we talked about. Better hold the 80, 62s. Holding on for dear life. You see the range. If not, pain. ENPH. Again, we talked about all these solar names. People got so mad at me. StockTwits almost banned me because I was like, these names are going to get cooked. You're at the channel low. Keep an eye on it. If you're short these names, I don't know the reason why. Just trade around them and let them go. Sedge, another one. This is probably getting a little tired. Probably due for a little bounce. But if you go look at the monthly, right? Like, check this out. Sorry, the weekly. Check this out. I mean, you're below some of these boxes, right? Could it rally back? I mean, that's kind of the best case scenario for bears and bulls to get trapped and bears to like reload. First solar, again, another one just okay. Next stop coming to the 200-day. I just win. Matter of when. HYG, we talked about this one, right? Chop and breaking the trend line, but again, corporate debt just looks very sloppy and choppy. Oil, congrats again. Some of the Discord room members called this one out. I don't mind it. Don't mind it at all. Don't mind it at all. I mean, again, I would probably be taking profits aggressively. That's if I was in oil names, I'd be taking them aggressively. UNG, I mean, I don't even want to chart this. XOP, got to give it credit. Got over our spots. Now the next box. Sorry, it's just, you can see this one right here. Let's see what happens at the 145s. Could it backtest the trend line? Again, more you're up, less you own on these things. I would not get too comfortable and just expect them to blow off and go to the moon. Because if they do, then fine. But again, raise your stops. Take some profit. Again, your gains are not real until unrealized. ExxonMobil, 200-day. Keep an eye on it. Oxy, holding up well. Buffett selling more calls probably. Inside day, really nothing to say. PX Dizzle, chopping around post earnings. I mean, clearly somebody doesn't want it over 235. That's the next level for liftoff. EQT holding up, okay, right? Holding up, but I don't know. These candles are a little ominous. We'll see. Flex LNG, the last one, and then we'll rant for 2 seconds. Keep it honest. I mean, we like this name because of its dividend yield. Long term, I think we're going to be exporting a lot of natural gas. We'll see. If you have any questions, please reach out. Link is in the description below for the Discord room. If you want to get involved, please ask questions. 30-minute link to a 30-minute individual chat anytime. Try to figure something out. Again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Appreciate the love, support, donation in the Discord room. I don't know what to really say. This is the summer, and you got the CPI coming out. We might be just playing some games. If you have any questions, do the damn thing. Talk to you later. Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, the PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.